inventing things 0 to 1, no competition. There's no one else. iMessage in a CRM, never ever created before, invented by SendBlue. It doesn't get more first mover than that. Like we just invented the ability to FaceTime audio power dial. Doesn't even sound real when I say it. So if we keep doing things like that over and over and over again, we had this feeling of this, getting to the 12 million ARR and what that felt like and everything that went into kind of that hockey stick. Keep finding that. I hope to end up in, the tallest building in the biggest city one day. Take the funnel pretty much off the internet and now get it into people's iMessage apps and answer their questions and talk back and forth with them, or send them voice messages or send them videos. You have a VSL on your website. What about like sending someone a video on iMessage? What kind of impact could that have? That's a different experience for someone.
How much are you spending per month on ads?
A lot. 6 figures.
I'm spending
Everybody, welcome back to the show. Today's guest is the CRO of SendBlue. They are a YC-backed SaaS app that has grown to 12 million ARR in just 12 months. Okay, so literally $1 million a month in revenue, and it only took them a year to get there. Everyone, please welcome Sam Queen. Sam, welcome to the show, my friend.
Bam, 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 bam. I need like them DJ buttons to hit right after that.
Dude, we were talking about trying to add some sound effects, but we didn't get there.
We might. Well, that'll be
that was a pretty good one.
That'll be a project for the off time around the holidays.
You know what, dude? I wish these AI note takers could just drop appropriate sound effects in. There's like 20 of them.
When they knew,
they were all just listening and we're like, they need like a car horn.
Oh man, hey, if someone's in the audience and wants to vibe code that, or something. Well,
yeah. Or if somebody wants to volunteer for the show, anybody need college credit? Like, give you an internship.
An ad-libber. Who's gonna do the show ad-libs? That's great.
That's true. Well, Adam, what are 3 things this audience is going to learn if they stick around until the end today?
Look, the biggest thing you're going to learn is how to use SMS marketing for your B2B company. And specifically, you're going to learn Sam's framework for killing spam-like outreach and creating messages that break through and convert, even at high volume. Number 2, you're going to learn exactly what Sam and SendBlue did to get to 12 million ARR in 12 months as a non-AI company. And finally, you get to see the inbound motion SendBlue is using to drive revenue at an insane rate. All of this stuff I'm trying to do myself, by the way. So I'm like a host and an attendee. I can't wait to learn, guys. This is going to be a big one.
That's the best part of the show. We're also students. We're always students with whoever these guests are.
Yeah, figuring out how to use SMS for B2B marketing, which I'm dying to know. All I want to do is iMessage people when they get a website visitor. So we're going to figure out how to do this.
There we go. We got a partnership in the works.
By the way, we've been saying this the wrong way. It's not only SMSing. It's sending a blue circle to people when something happens. That's wild. I'm mind blown.
Let's jump into that. Sam, tell us exactly what SendBlue does. Adam just gave us a good lead in. Let's give the audience some great context.
For the audience, the 200 people here, to understand in simplest terms, when you text through your CRM right now, that bubble is green. When you get that message on your phone that says reply stop to opt out, that's coming from a CRM. That's an A2P phone line. SendBlue sends iMessages. It's a different kind of phone line, a different integration. It allows that bubble to be blue. So if you've got an iPhone and you're watching right now and you hate when you get put in that group chat with that Android user, or you get that unknown text and you go to reply and it starts to turn green and you're like, who is this texting me? That is what your leads think of your business when your CRM texts them, unfortunately. And the blue bubble cuts through a lot of that noise.
Does the blue bubble have the opt-out as well? Or are you able to...
The blue bubble does not need the opt-out language at the bottom of the text, but we only want to text. We only want to text opted in leads is a really big.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
of SMS marketing for everyone watching. I actually think I saw a LinkedIn post that was popping off yesterday where this gal got like an iMessage text and she was like, "This is my personal phone. Why are you doing cold outreach to me?" And then like the SDR sent a voice message on the back end of it and then that made her more upset.
Yeah.
Sending cold text to people who aren't expecting your communication is a very gray area. And the best people to text are the ones that raised their hand and opted in for your.
Literally like, I want to know more. Here's my email address. Here's my phone number. Submit. Then it's like,
That's the best person to text, especially if you
Yeah.
had that checkbox that they agreed to with your terms. And
Yeah.
I can't get rid of that for you. We can get rid of the reply stop language. I can't get rid of that checkbox for you. Yes, that's who it's going to be for.
And in general, I think this is why cold outreach has been dubbed as dead, is because everyone had started to use AI and I mean, even pre-AI, right? Just like automation to send as much as they could to as many people as possible. I think we've all been guilty of that at some point. And that's what's led us to these kind of creative routes. So before we get into kind of more specifics, SMS strategy, let's kind of dive into like, oh, by the way, folks, at the end, just a reminder, we are going to do an unfuck my SMS segment at the end. So if you are sending SMS outreach to people, maybe it's not going so well, maybe it is, and you're trying to optimize, drum up your copy, and at the end, or maybe in about a half hour, we'll prompt you to drop that copy in, and Sam's going to give you feedback on it. So that's going to be awesome. So we're going to talk a ton more about SMS and all of that. What I really want to know, and something we want to get into, and I think the audience does too, is this kind of headline, right? $1 million in MRR, right? So 12 million ARR in just 12 months for SendBlue. We got to like 5 in 12 months at our B2B, and we were obviously ecstatic because that's still awesome. But you more than doubled that, which is pretty wild. And you're a
which by the way, by the transitive property of money, says you're more than twice as happy as we were.
Oh, is that how that works? Or my problems are twice as big now. One of those,
Right.
maybe both are taking place.
It's true.
That's funny. That's funny. How do we
learn about our national more money, more problems? Proverb.
And by the way, so as a point of clarity for the audience, there was an old email marketing company called SendBlue that is now called Brevo. They're doing a PE roll up. That's not this. This is SendBlue with no in. Just SendBlue. Yep.
Like blue bubbles.
Heck yeah. We got some links in the chat already, and that is the correct website. So sendblue.com will get you there. So I am curious. That is an insane growth rate, right? It's like, first of all, did you guys like realize at some point you're like, this isn't normal? And then I guess how did that motion kick off to get you on that crazy trajectory? Like, take us through that a little bit.
I think it helps when you're early to the party and early to the technology. Like our B2B is early to the party and what you guys were doing, right? That's like being a first mover helps you get there a lot faster when there's no competition. There's no one else talking about what you're doing. You're a true, in this case, we're a true 0 to 1 iMessage in a CRM, never ever created before, invented by SendBlue. It doesn't get more first mover than that. Now, when I got put in touch and put onto the business, was probably about a year and a half ago. One of my leads in my agency told me, "Hey, you can send iMessages in your closed CRM account now." And I said, "You can do what?" Because everyone wants to use their personal iPhone. Like using your personal iPhone is like definitely the best way to communicate with your leads. If you're watching this and you get like less than 5 leads a day, you should never be texting them through your CRM. Never ever text them through your CRM. Buy a second phone, pull out your phone, text those leads. You don't have that many of them. They're way too valuable to your business right now. So I learned you can do this. And then I go on this website and they're probably watching right now. And I didn't even see like iMessage on the website or like the word blue on the website. And I'm like, these guys have no idea what they're doing. Like, what an opportunity. This is the best product ever. Everyone wants to change the color of their blue bubble. And yeah, that was just over a year ago now when I met Alex and Rob, the co-founders. And as soon as I got the ability to gain a little trust with them and start sending business their way, it came really fast. And then even faster when we pulled a viral marketing stunt, I would call it to be, that really poured some gas on the fire at the beginning of this year.
All right. Well, you can't say viral.
I gotta ask.
That it was.
Yeah, I'm just like a huge fan of the viral marketing stunt. So like, what did you do?
Have you seen it before? Have you seen the protest ad by chance? It sounds like maybe Pete
No.
had.
I did. Yeah. Can we share it? Is there a way to, can you pull it up and share it, Sam? Do you have it on like YouTube or something?
We've made millions of dollars from a protest that we threw last year, and it only took 10 people to make it happen. Most of them were actually hired from Craigslist. And now, this year, we're back in a place where it all started, Dallas, Texas, with the goal of going even bigger this time. This year, we want to hire 100 protesters.
Yeah, how does it wrap?
How does it wrap? So I was
Yeah, I mean, you're
inspired.
stacking pill bottles. Like, how does it like sort of turn and
That's this year's protest. Last year's protest was that clip it referenced there, where people were walking around in a circle with their picket signs, and
Yeah.
that was inspired by Mark Benioff's Beyond the Cloud,
Oh yeah.
a great
We've
read
made millions of dollars from a
about his protests that he would throw against his competitors in the early days. And I actually got to meet Alex, the co-founder, one of the co-founders of SendBlue, at the Go High Level event. And I took what was
Got it.
originally going to be my strategy to support my business, and I had this guy who had a way cooler business. And I was like, well, I was like, let's just talk about your thing instead. So just talked about his thing, and then that led to, inspired off of the protests from that book reference, we protested green text messages across the street and put a Craigslist ad up in order to get people to show up.
Yeah, perfect. So I have one question before we dive into some of the mechanics of how this works. We launched our B2B. I was the only game in town. 6 months later, we had 15 competitors. Then 2 years later, I hardly have any because people think it's such a bad business, it's not worth it. Which is kind of like harder than it looks, like kind of thing. But do you have a bunch of competitors now a year in? Are you still enjoying this relatively white space? And I want to say one more thing. Like, I went from selling probably the most crowded space in SaaS, an email newsletter app, to like when we launched what is now retention.com, it's called Get Emails. We were the only one who could resolve an anonymous website visitor to a deliverable email address for like a couple of years. I noticed that when you stop someone and you say something that they believe is new, they will listen to you. The second they try to like run through this table of, do I already have this? And if they even sort of do, like the eyes glaze over, like that's sort of like refocused my opinion on what opportunities I should be pursuing. It's like, it's just like you said, it's so much easier when someone thinks they're listening to something new to get their attention. Anyway, how's the competitive landscape relative to a year ago?
Yes, if you're watching this and coming up with an idea right now, it's way cooler if you come up with the idea that no one has ever done before. It will make the path you choose will become easier. Read 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel, another good one that could help you think that way. Do we have competitors? Yes. What does their pitch look like? It will sound something like, hey, we do what SendBlue does, but cheaper, which is very
not great.
It's a validating pitch. There's a little nod of a cap, I'm sure, somewhere in there to what SendBlue does, but at the end of the day, like it's us against ourselves. Like I roll up October's numbers and I roll up November's numbers, and how do they compare against each other? What am I going to go do to make those numbers better? So I'm less worried about the competition, more worried about how do I get more leads? How do I get more demos? How do I increase my retention? How do I increase my NPS score? Those are the things that are going to be way more important for us growing the business. If I worried about my competitors all day long, I probably wouldn't have gotten to this scale as fast as we did.
Yep. I love that.
I also
right.
want to just throw out the old marketing adage that a cheaper price is not a good competitive advantage. A customer will only switch if you have a better product and a far better product at that. Like it has to be like pretty transformationally different than the incumbent. So if you're 25% cheaper, if you're half the price, that's still generally, if you're free, okay, now we start to get into an hour in a different
Yeah,
world.
10 times cheaper or free, you get people to switch.
Yeah.
We're 5 times. We're 5 times more expensive than the alternative. So it definitely rides, I would say rides that line.
Yeah.
For sure. You have to be able to support the value gap with that kind of a price difference.
Yeah.
I'm fully with you. I quickly just want to bring it back to the video ad engine. I've seen quite a few of these. It's not different. It's not, excuse me, it is different. It is not similar to any SaaS ads that I have seen. One, how big of like a component in your inbound strategy is video? Like, are you guys still pushing hard? And then two, what's sort of like the mindset behind that?
If it looks like an ad, then you'll probably fit in amongst the ads is kind of the overarching principle there. Is your statement of your ads don't look like any other ads I've seen before is I think what allows them to perform the way that they do. Um, and gives people the space. Like just last week, going in the elevator up to our office, I asked a guy who's in the elevator with me, like, "Oh, what's going on your floor?" And he's like, "Da da 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 da. What's going on your floor?" I'm like, "SendBlue, the iMessage guys." He goes, "Oh, I've seen the ads. I love the ads." And we get to hear that all over the place just because they look different than everything else. Like you need people talk about the hook. It's the hook. It's the hook. It's the hook. It's the hook. Yeah, but if you have a talking head hook, your talking head piece of content looks like everyone else's talking head piece of content, and you're competing with other talking heads. But when you're holding a protest sign, or I put an Android in a blender, or I am packing like little pill bottles in a recent ad. It's very different than any other ads. It feels more like a piece of content in someone's feed and less like an ad is what I'm going for.
Yeah, I think that holds true across the board, right? Like if you think of if you look at like people's email campaigns that work, or I mean, probably SMS or pretty much anything, like the ones that don't look like everything else, anything that can even be remotely close to white noise is just going to be pretty much a fruitless pursuit. It's like anything you can do to not be white noise in any way, in any medium, that's kind of the route to go.
Yes.
Which is what SendBlue is, right? You're trying to not be white noise by sending a message in a different way, which I really like.
Different for the sake of being different.
Yeah.
It's better to be different and worse than the same and better. There's a lot of quotes that I love about being different. The marketing hill I die on is being different, literally. It's like the only thing that matters. The only thing that anyone cares about when they hear about what you do is how are you different? That's it. So like, and then how do you break through in social media content? It's just wildly different than like whatever everyone else is trying to do. And compelling. I'm sure your ads are amusing. I don't spend any time on social media. I'm going to go check these ads out afterwards, figure out what you're talking
I'll send you the ad library. Maybe
how much are you spending per month on ads? Are you allowed to say that?
A lot. A lot. 6 figures.
Okay, cool. I'm spending 10,000 a month, but I can't tell what my funnel is because I have this freemium product and I don't have a good attribution setup. And I'm not 5 times more expensive than my competitors. And my LTV is tiny. Everything about my business is worse than yours. So I can't really spend like that.
Well, let's talk about the churn, right?
I'll
yeah.
plug Hyros for attribution if you've never checked it out before by chance.
Yeah. I've heard great things. Yeah, go ahead, Pete.
No, I was going to say we're big attribution skeptics over here. It's just like it's a bit of a nightmare. I was going to get into like raising. So, I was going to get into like kind of raising money. I know you guys were a part of YC. I think your founders were a part of one of the YC classes. what is your philosophy and sort of the philosophy at SendBlue around raising more money? I don't know how, you speak to it however you feel comfortable, but like what's sort of your philosophy? You guys looking to raise and become Salesforce of sending iMessages, or what's kind of the mindset there?
Fortunately, I get to just focus on sales and marketing, and I'm less involved in those conversations that Rob, my CEO, would have. But I do know that like we have a pretty economically strong business where raising money. I think your post said how much money we raised, and you know how long we've been alive, and we're still rocking. So we have a strong business as far as how we run things there. Where do I want to go with it though? Where do I want to go with it? Like I've always had a dream to like have the Salesforce Tower, the tallest building in the biggest city. That's kind of what I'm after. And I think we can get there with the right talent and the right marketing and the right sales machines. Well, I'm pretty sure if we keep inventing things 0 to 1, like we just invented the ability to FaceTime audio power dial. Doesn't even sound real when I say it, but like,
Wow. Yeah, that's a combination
yeah,
of a bunch of disparate ideas.
yeah, all together to help
Yeah.
salespeople with more leads. So if we keep doing things like that over and over and over again, we had this feeling of this, getting to the 12 million ARR and what that felt like and everything that went into kind of that hockey stick. If we can keep finding that, I hope to end up in, the tallest building in the biggest city one day.
Heck yeah. This is a trend we see on this show, whether it's people who are sales and marketing people like yourself or folks who run, or at a high level at some sort of like a marketing company. You're both. But just this, it's like we're always in a battle to not look like spam and not look the same as everybody else and cut through the noise. And if you're a marketing and sales software, it's like, if you were to create yet another email sequencer, it's like, we don't need those. Like there's a billion of them. They're all pretty robust. They do what they do. Like you're not going to change anything, but like you're fundamentally creating a new way of reaching out to people that does cut through the noise, eliminates the white noise, eliminates spam filters. And that's the theme we see. So I like to call that out because the patterns that we notice in the show become very insightful.
Can I ask one thing about this power dialer? Do you need an
Yeah.
opt-in to dial someone's FaceTime audio? Like, is that the use case or is it like a cold use case?
We still like to call inbound leads. Like SendBlue only wants to support businesses that have like opted in leads. But generally speaking, the calling guidelines for B2B specific, like cold calling B2C, don't ever do that. Cold call B2B, take the steps to, run your list through state DNC scrubs, national DNC scrubs. And then cold calling B2B is generally an accepted thing.
But I guess
Don't
what
do
I'm
it.
saying,
Don't do it in Texas. Don't do it in Texas now. Like that's a horrible place.
yeah, no, but I'm saying I'm talking only B2B.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you only want to work with people and their inbound leads, but here's my question.
Okay.
Is there any reason why cold calling via a FaceTime audio is different than cold calling on a phone? Is that actually different?
The difference would be that FaceTime audio is not a carrier. You're not calling through like carriers have certain rules and guidelines, and a carrier is what will show spam likely on your phone when you get that phone call.
Yeah, no. But I'm saying if I'm trying to, like, I'm wildly intrigued by this idea for the same reason you are. I'm just wondering if I have my list that I'm using my power dialer to call through, it's B2B. Everybody in this call is B2B. Is there, and it's cleaned and it's all this stuff, but it's not opted in?
Call them.
Call it in FaceTime. It doesn't matter. It's like the same.
Call them. Doesn't matter. It wouldn't matter if you called them right. It wouldn't matter if you called them regular in that instance either.
Yeah. So call them over carrier, call them over FaceTime. It's the same thing for B2B effectively.
B2B.
Even though you
Yeah.
guys only want to work with the opted in leads, this thing.
That's who we want to work with. But yes, effectively same thing. But like if you're watching this and you're about to pull out your iPhone to go rip some FaceTime audio dials right now, have a blast. I still think you're gonna get a way higher pickup rate. I know for a fact you're gonna get a way higher pickup rate. Just at some point in time, you will block your phone line and like iMessage and FaceTime won't work anymore. So those are like it's harder to go rip
Right.
phone calls.
Yeah. That was what I want. That was what I wanted to know. That was what.
Yeah, you can with our power dialer. You just need to stack lines on top of each other, and then you could find two.
Yeah, it's like the instantly smartly domain rotation strategy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Exactly.
like
you're
you
rotating.
are calling expecting to burn these lines, right? Like,
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
yeah.
It's funny because like I remember I remember when the dialing out local thing took off. Remember that? Like you would start to get when you first started to get calls from unknown numbers, but they were in your area code, like I think everyone was picking them up because it's like, well, why is someone from, Schenectady?
Local presence was great. Yeah, local presence was awesome.
And now you're like, that's definitely a spam call. And it's like, you know what I mean? It's like when I'm curious to see when I realize that someone calling me through FaceTime audio as from an unknown number is spam, but I will have you to thank or blame depending on my perspective at some point.
It'll never show. So the FaceTime audio will never show as spam likely. So that's really cool. Like it can't show as that. iPhones wouldn't put that. Like the FaceTime audio would never show that. And then additionally, I don't know about you when you get a missed call, but when I get a missed call, I'll go into the missed calls and I'll open up like who I got the missed call from, and I'll hit the I button, and then I'll go to like write them a message, and I'll see, was the phone number iPhone or was it an Android calling me? And if it's a blue bubble when I start to text it, I instantly get like a little more curious about who just called me.
Yeah,
The power of the blue bubble. The greatest network effect of all time.
Doesn't the blue bubble only come from if they send, you're still going to see a gray bubble, right? It's only until you send that you get
only when you put your finger into that text screen at the bottom and the first thing that will happen is the arrow will turn blue. Additionally, at the very top of the screen, it's going to say that you received an iMessage in small gray letters.
Okay.
Going to say that you received an iMessage instead of saying that you received an SMS. These small things that I just
you're right.
Someone said in the chat they get like a dopamine hit when they see a blue bubble. That's like what I get when I see a blue bubble as far as trust goes.
It's crazy that you're right. It's just that air. Like obviously you look at this all the time. I do it as a casual user and don't really take note of these things. But like, yeah, it's when it's a small green up arrow in the bottom right, and that tiny signal says a very big thing sends a very big message to our brains, which is blue bubbles are a hell of a drug. I love that. That is funny. So for folks who are listening, so doing this SMS SendBlue, excuse me. You know what I meant. SendBlue strategy, but also today, you could hop on your iPhone, and start ripping through your CRM on FaceTime audios and calling people and getting a higher pickup rate. That's something you can do today without having to install any software, which is pretty great, right? Yeah.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
You could, yeah. If you have a list of
my startup
and you wanted to put them into your phone, yes, like buying a second phone and using that to text your leads or talk to your leads is a great idea. You won't be able to get that back into your CRM if it's your own phone. Only if you use a tool like SendBlue will it get back into your CRM, would just be the difference.
I gotcha. Can we talk a little bit more about your revenue generation? And you're the CRO for God's sake. So we got to talk about this. What is sort of the breakdown of how you have your reps or your marketing engine or kind of everything go out to get leads, get revenue? What does that engine kind of look like from the inside? Where are most of them coming from? What are sort of the critical points?
That engine is primarily fed by inbound. That's people coming from meta ads to a landing page, giving us their information, answering qualifying questions, booking demos. Maybe they're not getting all the way through the process and we're having to text them or call them to get them to book a demo. Maybe they're just going to our website and they're booking demos all on their own. But it is a primary inbound meta Google fed engine, which is not very typical as far as I know for a lot of software companies to just go start spending like megabucks on meta.
Yeah.
Yeah. I only know one other. So I got retention.com off the ground that way. I was doing ads that did not look like ads at that time. Surprise, surprise. And at that time, what didn't look like an ad was me and my wife once a week doing a 60-second hilarious video, like with props and a different background every time, answering sales questions about get emails. And it was fantastic. It worked until it didn't. Only went 8 weeks. Apparently the Fixer guys are taking your approach. They have like, they're filming like something insane. They're filming like 70 or 50 ads per week. I think they have a comedian who's a writer, and they have a staff that creates and produces 50 ads per week that they then, test on this like meta machine or whatever. Other than, and again, it's like one of these, the underlying business supports it. It's like got good product market fit. They have good NRRs, and like they are confident that if they get paid back in a year, they're going to get 150% the next year and 200% the year after that. So they can do that. Yours truly with this business, I cannot. It's just the way the place I find myself. But yeah, I think it's who's the customer? Is it, you said you met these guys at the high level thing? Is it like high level, or is it like B2B SaaS, right? Like
People who use CRMs and get leads and they get their phone number.
Yeah. Anybody who is
get it. Yeah, if you get a phone number, you get a lead, and then you want to get in touch with that lead, we have the tools to get you in touch with that lead, and we know it across many different industries and
yeah.
Were there?
I mean, that's probably it's I would, if it's not just B2B, then I can kind of see why Meta is a good thing. Kind of like Fixer, like they're going after like real estate agents in Florida or whatever. There's a trillion of them or something. Sure. So it's like, Meta's the place. If it was like, this is only for B2B SaaS companies that inbound PLG motion, then I would imagine it would be mostly LinkedIn. You know what I mean?
It would be different. It would be different. Meta really allows us to create the brand, which is pretty cool. Like the SendBlue brand itself is also strong because of the content that we've been able to make. There's a lot to be said about a brand. Awesome. and the lack of like how you can build a brand on LinkedIn outreach. Harder. You can build a brand on LinkedIn. I've seen a guy do that before. He's got a
do you have an example of like, so I think a lot of people in here, myself included, do some meta advertising. Getting clicks and landing page views tends to be a less difficult route than getting people to go to the landing page and then convert to that next step. Are you able to quickly pull up what that landing page and share it with the audience? Because I'm curious to see if you could just
pull it up. I can pull it up and I'll tell you where we started, which might be more relevant to a lot of people watching, and that is Meta lead forms treated us really, really, really well. Just the on-platform lead form. Why did that treat us so well? Because we text people and we collected phone numbers. How cool is that when you get to use the product to demo and sell the product? If you're thinking of an idea right now, using the product to sell a product, really good one. I bet Adam would identify website visitors and then do cold outreach to them to sell. his
Yeah, believe it
service.
or not, that shit works. It's similar to iMessaging somebody about a product to iMessage somebody.
Yes, that is that's that's a cheat code. But when people do come to our website it doesn't have a ton of stuff on it. It answers a lot of people's questions. Simple websites are good. Request a demo button. This is a tool called iClosed. They get a plug. Shout out iClosed, ICLOSED.io. What's awesome about this opt-in form here, when I put in my phone number that I'm not gonna put in right now, it will capture it as soon as I click into the next field. And what's actually, when I put in my phone number, it'll show all my qualifying questions down here below it. So what looks like a really simple form to fill out is actually a little bit more of a complicated form to fill out, but it gives that little, impression of like, oh, I'm only a couple steps away from the thing that I want instead of 5 more questions away. And the fact that we can capture the phone number just like that and then text people to follow up with them um, makes for a really good texting funnel. We like to take the funnel pretty much off the internet and now get it into people's iMessage apps and answer their questions and talk back and forth with them or send them voice messages or send them videos. You have a VSL on your website. What about like sending someone a video on iMessage? What kind of impact could that have? That's a different experience for someone.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that is the overwhelming of the form fill is interesting. It's like interesting. You can enter the info and then you're already in it and you've already started. So like, yeah, that's interesting.
Great.
I'm gonna prompt the audience here, audience, for anyone who is doing SMS outreach, drop in your copy into the chat right now. We'll get Sam. I know there's a bunch of people at the beginning that said they weren't doing it. I think it's a little bit of a rarer art form right now, a little bit of a rarer tactic. But anyone who's using it, drop in your current SMS copy. And Sam is going to rewrite it live for you to get better response rates. If we get a lack of drops in here, because we did have a lot of people say they weren't doing it, maybe just some like helpful tips for writing SMS. Oh, there we go. We got one. Brian dropped one in. I'll let you take it away, Sam. So it says, let me I'm gonna break out my chat window and share it if it'll allow me to. I don't know if it will. It won't.
Some SaaS sites feel
Okay. So okay, well, I'm just going to read the first one out loud. It says, quick cue. Ever wonder why some SaaS sites feel alive while yours feels static? It's social proof done right. 2-minute demo, proofbar.co. What are your thoughts on that, Sam?
I asked Brian a follow-up question. That's so funny, Adam and Pete. I've been messaging you guys and not the chat this whole time. But I just, but now
that has happened.
I realize that.
And I'm asking, Brian, I'm just looking to confirm, is that the text that you send people when they opt in for your product? You text them quick queue, ever wonder why some SaaS sites feel alive while yours feels static? It's social proof done right. 2-minute demo, proofbar.co from my phone. All right, Brian, thank you so much for being a brave volunteer. And I will, with your permission, give very direct feedback that will help you close more deals. Hurt you.
He's like, give me the gag ball first. Like,
yeah.
I just want to get ready to take it.
Okay. It sounds like, Brian, someone's coming to proofbar.co and somewhere along the way there, look, plug for your business because you volunteered. How awesome is that? Proofbar turned customer success into social proof. And then I can click on demo, it looks like. And somewhere along the way here, I guess I'm going to get have to put in my phone number, is my guess. Anywho, and then we text them that. Okay, so you send them that text. So they come to your website and they want to sign up for a demo and see how Proofbar works, and get it installed or see it in action. And we're texting them, quick queue. Ever wonder why some SaaS sites feel alive while yours feels static? It's social proof done right. 2-minute demo, proofbar.co. If you scroll through your phone and you look at the last 100 conversations you've had with real people, My guess is they've never texted like that ever. Not one time. Not a real person has ever sent a message that looks true. Boom. But look, DJ horns again. Press them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what we're after, Brian. That feeling. Pete, back me up.
Yeah, look, it's the quick Q : already right there, alive in quotations, and then demo : proofbar.co. Like before we read any message, we do a scan. Like that's like the way our brains work. It's like, and those three things, yeah, I always would say, like when I was, doing sales, like you want it to sound like you're talking to your neighbor. Like how would you text your neighbor if you needed them to bring a package in? How would you call your neighbor if what would you say? Like, what would you sound like? What would your tone be? And I think carrying that over, because I feel the same way on that one, Sam. Let's go down to Ferez's. Hey,
I would.
oh, yeah.
Well, let me rewrite. Let me rewrite Brian's real quick.
Okay.
Let me rewrite Brian's real quick. Brian, here we go. Message one. Hey, contact first name. Maybe a little exclamation if you're that kind of guy, Brian, on there. If you're a little flirty, throw a little exclamation mark. It's Brian with company name. So it's Brian with Proof Bar. And we don't want to send a link in the first message because links aren't clickable until someone replies. Haha. There's a little fun fact for everyone
Wow,
there.
did not know that.
How about it? Message two. And then when someone replies on iMessage, not only does it become clickable, but then the metadata expands and you see the pretty photo and the pretty description. And you'll get higher click-through rates on your links. Message two here. We want to ask a question that is simple to answer, prompts a response, and starts a conversation. That's what we're going for here. When someone opts in for our service, we don't want to get them on a demo. We want to get them to respond. And then we want to learn a little bit about them. And then we want to book them on a demo. So what could we send here in this second message to get someone to respond? Can I send you the 30-second overview? Maybe. What if we said personalized messages to site visitors? What if we said something like, what's your website? I want to check out how our tool will work on it. I don't know, something like that.
And just a reminder too, that's great. This is also for people who have already opted in, people who know about what you're doing. I got a text from Stacks, which is like a payment processor. I had already kind of logged in and or not logged in. I gave them my info somehow. And then when they're reaching out, it's like, hey, it's Karen from Stacks. I think it was actually Karen from Stacks. Shout out Karen. Like I knew to respond right away, or like I didn't know to, but like I was certainly compelled to because I'm like, oh yeah, I've been trying to get a hold of Stacks in some way, and like here they are, like texting me. I'm already on my phone, like a lot of us are. Yeah, so I think, is this something a lot of people can kind of copy?
Yep, this framework, hey, contact first name, it's your name with company name send. That's a great first message to always send 100% of the time. Because also when you call someone, it might say maybe that person's name when you call them as well from an iPhone. That's a cool iPhone feature if you've ever seen that. And then message two, asking some low friction question that gets a response to start a conversation. I say conversions happen in conversations. So if you want a conversion to take place to sell your thing, you probably want to talk to them along the way. Probably want to talk to some people.
Wait, so if you say, I just want to make sure I'm clear on this. If you're doing the iMessage sending and you said, hey, it's Sam with SendBlue, instead of it being an unknown number, it would say like maybe Sam, right? Or is that kind of what you're saying? Yeah.
Yep.
And that's a noise that cuts through the noise already.
That will help with your pickup rates. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's interesting. So as long as you say your name, it's Brian, this one, Brian with Proof Bar, it will say maybe : Brian. And that already is differentiated from, that's already putting you in the bucket of like your friends, and not verification codes and advertising messages. Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's get into, we got a couple others. Hey, it's Ferez, CEO at Resware. Are you interested in software engineering consulting services?
pretty a solid start. I would break it up into two messages. Two messages just always converts better than one
That's so
message.
crazy.
Looks different, right? It's more natural in how someone texts. If you just look at how you're having conversations on your phone right now, there's going to be many times where you're sending that first part of your message and then you're finishing your thought in a follow-up message. So even if you're sending green text, send two green texts instead of one green text, and watch your conversions increase.
So you're not saying wait until a reply to send the second message. It is like boom, boom to mimic
Boom. Yeah.
to mimic how people text. That way it's like, I'm not a machine, I am a person. I am maybe Perez from Resware.
I'll even do and if you go on sendblue.com and request a demo, you'll get our demo and you'll see how we text and how it'll feel like a real person. And if you book a demo in the process too, I'll send another automation and it'll say like also letting you know I see our call booked for day of the week, but I'm taking if the day of the week's Tuesday, I'm truncating Tuesday into TUES. There's people write Tuesday like that instead of writing, Tuesday, December 14th at 5 p.m. That kind of looks like an automated reminder going out, like a template tag or a form field. If you're using or if you're selling B2B, like these other business owners have CRMs too. They know like what a workflow is.
I think that's so funny because it's like I need to also copy down your message there because I think it's so good. I think it's so funny because it's like literally what you're saying is like if you're sending out text messages, make them look like text messages. And for some reason, that is like
Difficult.
breaking advice.
I think businesses, well, a lot of CRM messages are put together by someone who isn't a salesperson, which is unfortunate, right? They're like in charge of building the CRM. And then a lot of CRM workflows are built on a computer screen and maybe tested on a computer screen instead of actually like texting your copy to yourself and looking at how it reads on your actual phone and those dimensions and that size. Because you don't realize when you're two lines of message on your HubSpot workflow and your 13-inch monitor is 8 lines on a phone and looks like a brick. And the only people you write bricks to are like your ex-girlfriend or something during a breakup. I don't know. People don't write bricks unless they're angry. No bricks. No
Yeah,
bricks.
no bricks. That's a good rule. That's I think that should be the takeaway of the show. No bricks.
No bricks. Yeah.
Any closing thoughts here? Adam?
To
Sam?
sum it all up, to write
Yeah.
really good copy, conversions happen in conversations. Just get people to talk to you and then take them to the next step and you'll find a lot more success.
Heck yeah. And I would add, don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Make it simple. Well, Sam, thank you so much for joining. I dropped in the SendBlue link for everyone who's interested. Sam, where can people find you, follow along on what you're doing, see more of those crazy videos you guys are putting out? Where can the folks see you?
Find me on LinkedIn, Sam Queen. Find me on Instagram, the Sam Queen. Get hit by my pixel and start getting my ads. And if you want to buy our stuff, go through our sales process. It's a pretty good one.
Amazing. I also recommend that, even if you're not interested. Well, maybe you'll become interested through the sales process, but at least check that out. It's one of my favorite exercises to do. Sam, thanks so much for hopping on, man. We have not had a episode about SMS. We certainly not had an episode about iPhone messages in this, so this has been awesome. We'd love to have you back in the future. You've been great.
Yeah, man. And for me, the wheels are turning. It's like, how do I use this?
Yeah.
You know?
I can help with that. We can help with that.
Next
You're
time.
willing to do an off the air brainstorming session. I have some ideas. I just don't know if they're good or not,
Yeah, we can do that. And then this will be the start of the case study. We'll clip this moment in time and then we'll talk about all the success that we found.
I am more than happy to be a case study if you get something working. Are you kidding me?
Do you collect phone numbers?
I will write about it to no end. Yeah, this is good link. Yeah, this is good LinkedIn content because no one's doing it. You know what I mean? So like what I was just thinking, and we're going a little bit over, is like maybe at like the end of my onboarding, I'm like, by the way, if you want me to text you everybody wants to know best practices for our B2B. It's like, if you want me to text you best practices, just like, give me your phone number. And it's like, hey, it's Adam. Didn't start asking them questions. Yeah, start asking them questions about their business. And then,
Phone number?
and then I'm like, by the way, do you want like my LinkedIn course and my 10 million ARR course, something like that? And it's like, boom, boom. Oh, do you want this third thing and pay the year up front? If I can get some people paying the year up front, then I can actually buy ads, it would be amazing if this could be like a rapport build to like somehow getting cash up front.
You will build way more rapport with your customer base thinking you own an iPhone versus you're texting them from a CRM. That helps.
Yeah.
That's part of the battle.
Thanks, Sam. You're the man.
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
Sam. Bye, everyone.